He's known to be a highly polarizing figure in sports right now. And Key, I think you know something. You have something to say about polarizing figures in sports?
Yeah, I got my top 5. Let me slide on over here real quick.
Top 5.
And break out my top 5 polarizing players in professional sports. And not all players. Because some are not players. Some are family members of players. One is even a coach. So let's start off at number 5. And you probably say to yourself, why you got this dude on there? Well, LeVar Ball, think about it. He raised amazing kids to go on and play in the NBA, and he put it in everybody's face. He just decided, yo, this is how I'm doing it. I'm rolling it out. I got my sons, Melo. I got LiAngelo. I got all them doing what they're supposed to do. And his son is Rookie of the Year for the Charlotte Bobcats right now. So that's polarizing. And he had a shoe company that kind of just...
Charlotte Hornets.
Man, Bobcats, Hornets, same thing.
What
man.
decade are we in?
I know, right? Hornets. So that's polarizing at number 5. Number 4 for me is a guy in Coach K.
What?
Now you say, why Coach? Everybody loves Coach K. Not true. They hate Duke. People hate Duke.
People hate excellence.
This man went on and had 5 national titles. Jay Will actually helped him win one of my co-hosts on my morning show. But then he got 6 gold medals. And you talk about that and the way he coaches, his style. He runs the ACC. He pretty much runs the men's basketball in general in college basketball. So they hate him for that reason. And then at number 3, Kevin Durant. You think about KD. People just, for whatever reason, they don't like my man. My man is fire.
Yep.
The Slim Reaper. Like, it's ridiculous. He just all guts. And people don't want to give him no glory at all whatsoever about his ability on the basketball court. They hold going to Golden State against him. Hell yeah, you go to Golden State and win championships. You join them if you can't beat them. Why not? The reason they won those championships because the MVP in those final games is Kevin Durant at number 3.
All facts.
Number 2 is Tim Tebow. You laughing right there. Tim Tebow.
Isn't he a nice guy?
Is he not polarizing? Think
Yes,
about it.
he defines polarizing.
And when you think about it, he was drafted in the first round by the Denver Broncos when 99.9% of people who watch football and follow it said, man, what the hell is Josh McDaniels doing? Then he gets opportunity after opportunity. He goes to Major League Baseball, minor league baseball. The Mets give him a shot. Then he says, well, that's not going to work out. ESPN, we hire him. Good on TV. Works great for us. And then he retires, the whole deal, out of football for like 19 years. Then all of a sudden, Urban Meyer gets hired. He goes and gets a job at the New England as a tight end with the Jacksonville Jaguars. People like, man, what are y'all doing? And it just went crazy. Twitter world, everything went bizarre. Tim Tebow at number 2.
Number 1.
Number 1,
Gosh, here we go.
LeBron James.
Wow.
LeBron James. People dislike this individual for no apparent reason whatsoever. Actually, there is an apparent reason, right? Because he did it, the decision. That started everything. He leaves Cleveland, goes to Miami. He makes the decision that he wanted to make, which I think he should have made based on his relationship with the ownership group in Cleveland. Goes to Miami, wins. He leaves Miami, goes back to Cleveland, delivers them a championship after burning his jersey, treating him so bad. Then he goes to LA. We embrace him, even though I didn't want him at first, just because I'm a Kobe guy. And then I had to just kind of wrap my arms around LeBron. He gives us a championship, but more than just basketball. He creates more to vote. That became a problem. Anytime he built one of the most amazing schools in our country where kids academically is excelling at one of the highest levels in our country. No credit for that. They mad at that. And he just says what he says and does what he does. All that becomes polarizing. So this list goes with Conor McGregor. Clearly, he would belong on the list.
Right.
But I wanted to give 5 outside of Conor McGregor. And now I'm not on the list. I know many people say, where am I at? Why am I not on the list? What about OBJ? What about some of the other professional athletes that are out there? Can't put everybody on the damn list.
No, and you know what? I was going to bring up Odell only because polarizing is the word. Villains is a different thing. I don't know if we have villains anymore in sports. In a rivalry,
what's a villain?
do.
No, explain to me what a villain is.
Okay.
It's that guy. It's the bad guy. Everybody roots against
Dennis
him. No one
Rodman.
likes him. Dennis Rodman for a while.
But Dennis Rodman, people like Dennis Rodman, just
then they started to like him.
Right.
Reggie Miller, ultimate villain.
Well, villain, especially to you.
I think, you know who I think has that
and some other
potential?
teams too.
Trae Young. has villain
Trae
potential.
Young is a great. It's
has
a great
villain
example.
potential,
His fan base
but I
loves him,
love him.
but everybody on the outside's like, man, would you stop with the shoulder and all this stuff and the shush? Don't shush people. But on this list, though, yes, like Odell when he
I
comes
can't believe
back
I
this
said
year.
the Bobcats. Hornets.
It's all right.
Bobcats, Hornets, whatever, man.
It's the same
Keep
family.
one damn name.
Bob Johnson loves that you said Bobcat. So LeVar Ball, I don't know if he's polarizing anymore because if you notice, he's really
quiet.
gotten quiet.
Well, he don't
quiet.
got nothing to say. His sons are
It's
doing
quiet.
it. You don't
It's
got to say
quiet.
nothing when it's like
Until his son winds up in L.A. when he leaves Charlotte.
Look,
then it'll be
but
all
it's
good
lit.
again.
But was he wrong? Did he speak it into existence?
He wasn't
certainly
wrong.
did.
No, he
LeVar
was
Ball should
right.
be
He
celebrated
believed
in
in
many
his
ways,
boys,
what
and
he's
they
done.
are successful.
No, he look, man. Whenever you have 3 boys that go on and have opportunities to get free educations, let alone they all didn't finish college. They entered and they never.
Well, 2 went to college.
but they didn't finish. They left early or whatnot. The case may be. Whenever you have 3 sons to put on professional basketball uniform, I don't give a damn at what level it is. It's professional basketball. That's saying a lot, man.
Respect. What about Tom Brady, y'all?
Yeah, that's another
Excellent,
name.
but people think.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, but
controversy.
I don't
we
think
would
he's
like him now.
polarizing, though. I don't
Why?
think he's polarizing. Because,
Americans don't like excellence. Look at the
Yeah,
list you
but
made. All these guys are great.
yeah, everybody is great. But Tom Brady
Sounds like
is
we
not.
some haters.
Tom Brady is not polarizing.
You know
who I could have put on the list? I didn't. Cam Newton. Cam Newton is polarizing.
He's getting,
Oh, okay, I'll give you more
Major.
polarizing. What about Floyd Mayweather?
really good one.
Yeah.
You know what it
I
is with
respect
Floyd
the
again?
money
Floyd's kind
of
of been
what
out of
he's
sight, out of
created.
mind. Yeah.
See, I don't. Yeah, I kind of left him off the list because of a bunch of other stuff.
Right.
That's why
Right.
I didn't want to. I just didn't want to put him in that category.
I mean,
Coach K, though, we love Coach K. He's going to have
I
his
like
last
Coach
season
K.
farewell.
I like
y'all
him,
don't
but
like
a lot of-
excellence. That's
a
what
lot
this
of
list
people-
says to me.
You're right.
A lot of people
Haters.
is jealous of the success
Yes.
that Coach K
This is a hater
has had.
list.
Duke is squeaky clean. Now, I mess with Jay about it all the time. Oh, y'all just so perfect and do top 5 of college and this. And that's not necessarily true.
Right.
Even though they believe that.
Yep. All right, one more person since we're talking Duke. J.J. Redick would say he was one of the most
When
polarizing
he played in
figures
college,
at
he was.
Duke. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Grayson
All right.
Allen was the same
All
way.
right. Yep,
Like
yep.
oh, God.
It's basically a top
I wish I
5,
played
like
against Grayson Allen.
Couple
America's
elbows.
haters list. All
Oh,
right,
man, we wouldn't have finished the game.
Keyshawn, Flowers. That was a nice list. Great job up there.
Thank you.
Everything was great except for the
Still think you
Bobcats.
should be on
I
that.
know, Bobcat.
If Ryan
Playoffs, unfortunately, 9 different All-Stars have missed time this postseason with injuries, some attributing it to a shorter than usual offseason coming out of the bubble in a new edition of a play-in round to begin the playoffs. LeBron had this to say in part on Twitter regarding load management earlier this month. They all didn't want to listen to me at the start of the season. I knew exactly what would happen. I only wanted to protect the well-being of the players. These injuries isn't just part of the game. 8, possibly 9 All-Stars have missed playoff games, most in league history. This is the best time of the year for our league and fans, but missing a ton of our favorite players. 4-time NBA champion Shaquille O'Neal recently had this in response. When you're living in a world where 40 million people have been laid off and you're making 200 million, you won't get any complaining from me. I play back to back to back to back. I'm not knocking what anybody said, but me personally, I don't complain. I don't make excuses because real people are working their tail off. And all we got to do is train 2 hours a day and then play a game for 2 hours at night and make a whole lot of money. So my thought process, a little bit different. Well then, Max, do NBA players complain too much? Does
No.
Shaq have a point here?
No, well, does Shaq have a point? Let me just say, before I don't want Stephen A., the pandemic was for real. A lot of people lost their lives.
Absolutely.
A lot of people were suffering, and you have to acknowledge that, so I get the sentiment. I need to start out by saying, Shaq, I understand the sentiment, right? But no, the NBA players are not complaining too much. Like, first of all, Shaq told on himself a little, Stephen A. All you got to do is show up and train for 2 hours and then play 2 hours. And that's not what LeBron and the elite of the elite are doing. Sometimes that's why Shaq, who said, hey, I get hurt on company time, I'll rehab on company time. That's sometimes why Kobe got mad at Shaq, right? Like, Shaq was a physical freak who could get away with doing that sometimes, but most of these other guys who are the elite of the elite, not. Stephen A., how can you deny when it's not just all-stars, we could throw it out, all-stars, series were decided by these injuries. And LeBron is right. LeBron called the shot ahead of time. You can't turn around after the dude said, this is what's going to happen. Then it happens and then say, don't complain. Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Stephen A., they were humiliating Milwaukee until Kyrie went down, and then Harden was never really Harden. That wasn't just, those were beatings, like humiliation beatings. Obviously, Milwaukee was no match for them. AD goes down. The Lakers don't advance. Look at every series. You talk about Jamal Murray, now Kawhi Leonard, Donovan Mitchell. The whole playoffs has been decided by injury, and LeBron warned against it. So, Stephen A., I get Shaq's sentiment, and it's a good one. Real people are really suffering, and these are people who are living different kinds of lives. But to say that like LeBron's complaining when he predicted it and it happened, he had a reason for saying what he said.
Well, that doesn't mean the reason vibes with what you're proclaiming. And the fact of the matter is LeBron is incredibly wrong. And I agree with Shaq. A lot of these players complain too damn much. And you wonder, they walk around with this, acerbic attitude, a bit truculent with people and all this stuff. And you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Who bothered you? And it's not just about these games, and it's not just about play after bubble play. It's everything. DeMarcus Cousins was on the air talking about people need to give Paul George his flowers. Mm-hmm. When has Paul George not received his flowers? That was when Game 7 happened last year. Before then, we weren't dogging Paul George. All right, he's one of the best people you'll ever meet. We know he can ball. We just pointed out how they got sent home after giving up a 3-1 lead. And then he missed the 2 free throws in Game 2. We can't even analyze basketball anymore without dudes being caught up in their feeling. You saw me on the air months ago, and I said I didn't care about a 35, 21, and 14 performance from Russell Westbrook. Why did I say that? Because I know the brother is a walking triple-double. He won a league MVP. He's done it for years now. He's going into the Hall of Fame. We've seen that. Can I see you play after 2 weeks into the playoffs? That's all I said. This is the point. But you would have thought that people would talk about their mamas or their family members or something, because we're analyzing and dissecting the game of basketball. And who's the ringleader with that stuff? It's LeBron. Because LeBron, he can drop 50, he can drop 60. And we all know we love and respect the hell out of this phenomenal role model that is LeBron James. But let's call a spade here. He can drop 50 or 60. You can praise until the cows come home. He got a big glowing smile on his face, and he'll sit there and talk with the media for hours. But let him have a bad game, and you point that out. Well, I'm just trying to be a role model to the kids out there, and I'm a champion in life. I came from Akron. What the hell does that have to do with the fact that you struggled in this game? This is what they do, and they do this now more than ever. And then you take into account bubble play. Let me dissect this for you, Max Kellerman. Let me remind you. They stopped play March 11th. They were supposed to be off a month. Instead, they have 4.5 months off. A vast majority of them only played 6 weeks. And then they come back and they play 6 weeks to 2 months. And then they come back after 3 months off and they play in December. How much time do you want off? Of course, LeBron pointing out complaint. What complaints? You ain't been playing. He's played. He might have a complaint. But to say the rest of the league has a point? What the hell were you doing in your off time to stay in shape? You are a professional. This ain't the 50s and 60s. You don't need a second job to supplement your income. You making this money. All you got to do is take care of your body. What's the problem?
Those are valid points. Especially during the pandemic, people were counted themselves lucky when they had a job to go to. Forget about days off. Hey, I still have a job to go to. That's great. So I understand, and that was Shaq's broader point. I understand where you're saying, look, people were really suffering for real, not just, hey, we have a condensed schedule. What I'm saying is the specific thing LeBron was complaining about here was you're making us play too many games and what's going too close together, and what's going to happen at this level is injury. And when he calls that, and then the whole playoffs, all the best players are hurt, that's not the time to be like, LeBron complains too much. That's the time to be like, he was right.
But
He was right.
Giannis injuries last night, Kyrie's injury in Milwaukee, those weren't injuries that happened as a matter of conditioning. You twisted your damn ankle. You hyperextended your knee.
You can argue both things are true. Both Shaq and both LeBron are right here.
Okay.
Molly making the...
We can. You were right, Molly. We can. But I don't choose to.
But you're not
I'm
going to.
take a side.
Stephen A., who wins tonight? Tell me. Who you got?
I couldn't hear you, Molly. I'm sorry.
Clippers.
Producer was in my ear.
Max out the
Clippers gonna
cover.
make
We'll be
it
back
to
here
7.
same